We are live. Hey everyone, welcome. Hack Shack Studios, RT Bear here, and we are going to have a Pontificators night tonight. So I hope you guys are all buckled up, ready for the ride of your life. It's going to get crazy. Going to be some hairpin turns, some drops, some loop-de-loops. What do they call those? Those corkscrews. We're going to do all kinds of stuff. Now, like roller coasters go backwards too, so you got to throw that in there. And it goes backwards. Oh, great. I always feel like those thrill seekers, like it just keeps amping up, right? There's these roller coasters that go off the side of like skyscrapers now. It's like, oh yeah, that's great. Woohoo! Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't want to really ride on anything that if it goes wrong, I could die. I just don't want that. So anyways, you guys, I'm going to have the Pontificators coming in a bit. Ooh, I just realized that my camera isn't locked down. So let me see if I can do that real quick here. I think I got too many tabs open. Too many tabs. Do I have this tab open? No, I don't. Do I? Let me see. Hold on. Hold on for a minute. No, it's not. It's not open. All right, my computer's just being slow. Yeah, it is. Close. Okay. All right, let's try this again. All right. Yeah, it's not quite working. All right. Well, we'll do without it. So yeah, you guys. I don't know if you've heard like Jim Lee, his commission rates. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I got some of that Superman stuff. There's more stuff coming from the set of Superman. So there's some optimism with the costume, at least the colors and things like that. But there's still like the kind of baggy factor that people aren't really digging. And so we might talk a little bit about that. Like I said, I got some images saved here. And then also just I think Bob's going to bring in Comic Book Bob has got some Ronda Rousey working with Mike DiDio and the Captain America 4 reshoots that are pushing the budget like just insane. So as always, you guys, please give me a sign of life in the chat. I know there's a lot of competition always on in the evening, especially on Wednesday nights. So it always makes me feel like I've done it all right when I get a sign of life in the chat. So feel free to chime in. I know it's a little early for our pontificators, but hey, I just want to be unpredictable. I want to be a little wily. I just wanted to be a little edgy. Well, you guys, I don't know if you've heard, but I have a art book that I launched 2 days ago. Actually, I think, 2 days ago now. It's called Oodles with Doodles and Other Stuff Too. It is a reprinting of an art book that I put out some years ago. And there were people that didn't get the book and have been, asking me over the years, like, well, how could we get this book? How can we get this book? And I said, you can't. It's completely sold out. And so I've seen these books on eBay, going for, 90, $100, some of them as low as $60, $69, something like that. So these books are reselling. That's the book right behind me for quite a bit of dough. And so, you guys spoke, I listened. And so now we're back. So it's a second printing, but it's going to be a different version of the same book, if that makes sense. So there's going to be new pages. There's going to be more pages, more content pages, and there's going to be more artwork in it than the original. So I'll be able to show you some of that when I go to the site. But let me see what Nighthawk Warrior Comics has to say. Hi, RT Bear. Hope you are doing well today and have a happy 4th of July tomorrow. Indeed. Right back at you, Nighthawk. Let's see. Also, congrats on the art book. I saw some kind of advertisement for it on YouTube channel and Instagram recently. Anyways, have a nice night. Goodbye. and have a happy 4th of July tomorrow. You too. And I guess Nighthawk was just coming in just to say some nice things and then take off. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, this is what we're talking about. I'm going to share it with you. Here it is right here. So you guys should be seeing this now. This is the Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. This is my art book. This is a lavish hardbound art book showcasing the various creative sides of me. So at this point, after, what is that? Would that be 48 hours, 2 days? We are at 7,168. We have 52 backers. We have 58 days left. So yeah, we're 2 days into this. So we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. I know the holiday, the 4th is coming up. So you guys are probably pretty busy with stuff. And tonight, you know, some people are actually getting ready for the 4th of July because they have quite the shindig. They have family and friends coming over and scheduling how to blow stuff up. So that's all good, but it is going to kind of make a difference in the campaign here. We knew it coming into it, but we as in my wife and I, Pamela, who is my partner in crime, we really wanted to get this thing going because we want to try to get the initial campaign, you know, wrapped up in 60 days, which is the plan, and hopefully we can do well enough to get the orders in for the books. I'm kind of looking at this point for a 500 print run. It might, well, we'll see. We'll see how it all goes. So at this point, that's what we're looking at. And so I want to get those orders in as quickly as possible because I would like to ship this out to you guys before Christmas. So early December. So it could be a Christmas book. We'll see how it all goes as we get closer and things look like, you know, I could be more confident in actually when, you know, the actual date will be. I'll let you guys know. So stay tuned. I do want to thank all the backers that have backed and supported this book up to this point. You guys are the best. The only reason I'm here doing all this is because of you and your support. So I really, really do appreciate it. So here we go. So do you like comic book art? Are you a fan of pop culture? Do you like RT Bear's artistic style and renderings? If you said yes to any of the above questions, then this book is for you. So this is The Art of RT Bear, Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. And so then we have Oodles and Other Stuff Too is a 60-page 9x12 hardbound book that will be printed on thick glossy stock paper and a compilation of artwork from the award-winning RT Bear that showcases the genre of pop culture and comic books to perfection. You guys heard it here, perfection. All right, so then we have Oodles is filled with images that come from Arts, Marvel, DC, Image, and Comicsgate days. There are also condoodles, commissions, creator-owned IPs, and pop culture visuals galore. Art style has been honed to perfection after over 40 years in the comic book industry and viewing life through his own love of the art form itself. So that was very, very sweet. That was my my wife Pamela wrote all that, so that was nice. So yeah, we got a quote here from Kevin Nolan. Click that link, spend some more time, read that bad boy over. I still can't believe that happened. There's some great, very kind, generous people in this industry. No matter what you hear, there still are a few of us. Here is the interior art. So this is a new page. So all these pages will be double pages. So they'll open up on each other. So this is 2 pages that we're looking at. So we got William Shatner. So that's some of the pop culture stuff. We got some CG stuff. We got the Gem-Shock character by Mandy Summers and Del Keown. We got Ethan Van Sciver's Cyber Frog. And then we have John Malin's Graveyard Ship Lilith image there in the lower right-hand corner. And then this cool Mike Mignola RT Bear Jam working together on this Gigantor little illustration here. I thought that would be fun to throw in there. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff, a lot of unexpected stuff. You'll see very different sides of me in here. So just on this page alone, you can see a couple different, styles, different things going on. And then, of course, some of my older work here. So I think this is 92 or 93 Cable. So I did a Cable ongoing series with the writer Fabian Nicieza. And this was done for promotion. I think it was the cover of the Diamond catalog and Capital Cities. Marvel made this into a retail poster as well. So this is a reimagined version. So I digitally re-inked it with some Thomas Mason colors on there. I think it came out fantastic. So these are some of the creator-owned IPs. So this was done for a Adult Swim Spike TV pitch. A little edgy, a little like non-PC, I guess. So there's a little pitch in there, a little rundown of what the series was going to be. So you can expect this. There's a few other IPs that nothing ever happened. So really the only place you're ever going to see this side of my talent or my work and stuff that I did in animation is here in this book. So I'm very proud of this stuff, and I'm glad that this book exists so I can show the many different sides, but where I can show these IPs and these different things that really nobody's ever going to see. So that's cool. And then we got Billy Tucci's She Work in Progress double page here. So you get the pencil thumbnails, ink thumbnails, and then the finished pen and ink stuff here. And that's, I mean, this stuff looks great in the book because this is bigger than like comic book size. So this is a coffee table book, magazine size. So all the images and stuff are very big. So one of the things I tried to do in the layouts is make sure that the images are big. Some of the layout stuff, work in progress, thumbnails, those things are going to stay small, but there's going to be some big images. And also, like if you see the She, that pen and ink or that little like marker drawing, I think it's like a Sharpie marker, that's big. So you can see all the marker textures and stuff like that in there. So you should be able to see some work in progress, some behind the scenes stuff in there, which will be fun and cool. I always like that stuff. As a fan of comic book art myself, I have a ton of art books all over my studio here. I find a lot of inspiration in them. So feast your eyes on some of the goodies that you can receive when you back some of these amazing tiers. So first off, we have Pit. We have Del Keown's Pit. So this print is only going to be offered in 2 of the normal tiers, but you can get it free if you back the early bird specials. So this Pit print is featured in the early birds, so you don't have to pay an extra dime for it at all. So then Black and White has hit a milestone. Black and White is 30 years old. In this October will be 30 years. So to celebrate, we got this commemorative 11x17 print. This is a villain, a seductress, a sexy villain. Her name is Juju. She's a Valdoon priestess. And this is kind of like the new version of Black and White is a little bit more, there's always been a supernatural angle to the Black and White stuff, but this is more like sci-fi as well. So it's a future tense story. I don't really lock it down to a specific year, but she is she raises the dead, but she uses spells and technology to do that. So she uses science, and then she uses some of the arcane, I should say, abilities, that basically a voodoo priestess would be using. So it'll be a lot of fun. I thought it was cool to add this. It's just kind of early. It's like early advertisement, early, I guess, promotion to let you guys see what the series is going to look like as we move forward. So keep an eye for October. that is when the new black and white series is going to drop. So that'll be volume 3, and it's called Sins of the Father. And this character will be heavily featured in that first issue. So keep your eye on that, and pick up this print, you guys. It looks really badass. It really does. The colors came out amazing. I'm really happy with the composition and the design of the character. So that'll be a lot of fun. Also in the prints, we have 8.5 up by 11 prints. We have this set A, and you can get these Mary Jane. It's pen ink wash. We have the Red Sonja, which is completely like cover illustration with full colors on it, and so then we have this Voodoo, this Wildcats character, Voodoo, Jim Lee's character, in pen and ink and brush as well. And so the print set A comes with a signed and numbered book. So then we have a set B, which is 8.5 by 11 prints, 3 prints as well, and that comes with the signed and numbered book as well. And then we have the commemorative head sketches. So this is the 30th anniversary commemorative, and the reason is because these are the new suits. So these are the new power suits that Black and White will be using. So I thought it would be fun to incorporate that into this campaign as well. So, and also just kind of like an early kind of heads up on what the series is going to look like. So you can get black separate, you can get white separate, or you can get both of them drawn on the flyleaf of the book itself. So we had 11 by 17 commissions. We sold out of those. And so we still have some of the 9 by 12 head sketches. And these are a little bit more detailed than the usual head sketches I do. So if you want some detail, and these are like characters of choice. So with the 11 by, well, 11 by 17 sold out, but with the head sketch, you can get character of choice. So then we have the Oodles. Featured is the Oodles with 6 prints plus the 11 by 17. We got 3 claimed. We got the signed and numbered book, which is the main tier, the entry level tier, which is $40. We got 19 claimed. We have the Pit print tier, and so we got 5 claimed. Like I said, there's only 2 tiers with the Pit print. So if you want the Pit print, this is the place to get it. Then we have the book signed and numbered with the Juju print. We got 1 claim there. We got the set A, which is 0 claimed, which is understandable. We got the B, 0 claimed, because we have the early birds, and we haven't quite sold out of the early birds yet. So this is basically the same tier as the A above that I just went through, but this comes with a free Pit print. So you don't pay any extra, but you get that print there, and then the B is done the same way. So there's 14 out of 30 for the wait, this is the early bird. So early bird 6 prints plus the 11 by 17. So this comes with all the prints, and the Pit print is included as well. Sorry, you guys, I got kind of lost there for a second. So that's 14 out of 30. So we're about halfway through that. And then we have this A tier as well. So if you guys want a bargain, a deal, more bang for the buck, these are the 2 tiers to get right now. They're very limited, so get in quickly. Here's the flyleaf head sketch, 0 claims so far. Here's the flyleaf white head sketch. We got 1 of those claimed. We got both of them here. And then we have the Oodles book plus the 9 by 12 head sketch of your choice. And then we have the Jam. The Jam comes with everything, like all the prints plus the Pit, and you get the black and white drawing inside the flyleaf. So the A, the B print set, the 11 by 17 Juju print, the Pit print, the signed and numbered book, plus the flyleaf illustration of black and white together. And so that's pretty much all the tiers. I know you guys have asked, there's a few of you that asked if I can get Just the like A set or the B set or the where's the Juju print or the Juju print separate, like as an add-on. And Pamela, it's a little tough to figure out the add-ons because they're like they don't go with the same. Well, the same name is there, but if somebody backed a tier and then backed an add-on, they don't show up together. So if Bob Smith, backs a tier and then gets an add-on, they don't show up together. So then when you go to, put the stuff together to ship it out, you kind of have to go over everything and look for like the same names. And like if there's an add-on, then she has to go through all the names to see if there's another Bob Smith and stuff like that. And it's a little difficult. So Pamela and I are talking right now about possibly adding like an A B, and a Juju tier. So that'd be 3 new tiers where you could get just the prints. Because the thing is, like if you wanted to get like this pit print, well, what if you wanted the Juju print as well? You can't really do that. What if you bought back the Juju print but wanted like set A? I guess you could kind of do that here. But you guys get the idea. So we're still kind of, going back and forth on that. So let me come back, see what you guys are talking about. There's always something to talk about. We're going to talk about oodles of doodles. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Past Master is in the house. He's got his wrench ready. So he's going to be posting some links. We got John Porton. Hello, everyone. What's up, John? Thank you for the link, you guys, or a Past Master. You guys click that link, go over. If you like what you see, back a tier today. I would appreciate that, especially going into the 4th of July. I think that we may slow down tomorrow because everybody's going to be so busy, blowing stuff up. But Basad and Wizard, what do you see in Wizard? What did you see in Wizard? Wizard doesn't exist anymore. We got Jolly Green, hail to the green. We got Chris Graves, what's up? Hell to Art and chat. Yeah, I'm streaming every day, baby. I told you guys early on, I said, you're going to be sick of me. You're going to be so sick of me. Cool. Yeah, go sign up, you guys. Tark says, hail Comicsgate. Indeed you do. Comicsgate forever. Here's that link, you guys. Go check out Chris's new book. But before you do that, click this bad boy. Don't cry tears. Get an early bird tier. Yeah, no tears. Thank you. I'll tell her. We love Aunt Pam. There is a Bob Smith actually in comics. I was just thinking about that. Is he a colorist or an inker, something like that? His house. Yeah. Danky Frankie, we could never be sick of you, Art. Well, you say that now. You say that now. All right. Well, it is actually Pontificator. It's time to get some other guys in here. So let's send a link. Bob says he'll be in 10 minutes. So I'm going to drop this link in the Pontificators green room and see who bites. Let's see if we get any bites. It's kind of like fishing. We're throwing some good bait out there and seeing what sticks. Oh, Bob Smith is an inker, I believe. Did Bob Smith God, for some reason I'm thinking Bob Smith and George Perez. Were they an item? Were they a team? I think it was Al Vey who inked George Perez for a while. And man, that stuff looked great. So good. My lips look really red. Kissable. I'm gonna gray this down. This is kind of disturbing me. It's kind of bugging me. All right, this is live, you guys. This is what you get, live TV. Let's change the saturation here. Does that help? I think it helps a little bit. Yeah. I hate that, like in movies sometimes, like TV really does it a lot, where they like sometimes put lipstick on dudes. It's like, why are you doing that, man? That's gross. Don't be doing that shit. Oh, Bob Smith and Dan Green on something. Dan Green is really good, RIP. Dan Green is a strange fellow. I did a New York show with Green, and he kept kind of bugging me to do stuff for him. And his daughter was there. His daughter was sweet, and so then we got a bunch of guys. We're going to go out to dinner after the show, and we felt bad, and so we asked, Dan Green to come hang out, and oh my gosh, Dan was like, I got to drop my stuff off at my car, and I'm like, okay, can we just get a cab? He goes, I don't want to pay for a cab, and I'm like, well, how far is it? He goes, not far. We walked so damn far. And he had all of his equipment with him. And so then about midway through, he's pawning his equipment off on all of us to help him carry this stuff. And he's like, he hands me his portfolio. And I go, I'm not carrying this. I asked you. I said, we could take a cab. And you said no. So that's it. That's it. You're on your own, Dan Green. And so then we went to Frankie and Johnny's Steakhouse in New York City. So good. Food's so good. It's a little hole in the wall. It's hard to find, but if you guys are ever in New York, look it up. Cab drivers know how to get there. And we had just a great meal. And then Dan just complained about the prices all evening long. Oh my gosh, I didn't think we were going to have this guy. We got Clint Helinski in his house.
Just for a little bit. 4th of July has already started around here, but I wanted to get in here and say hey, and you got to plug. You got to plug. So
okay, so you're here to plug Oodles of Doodles and other stuff
but
too.
I always love seeing your beautiful face art. The day doesn't go by. A day goes by and I don't at least see a post on Twitter about art. Then
yeah,
it's a sad day indeed. Is that enough?
Well, it's like you're saying, you gotta saturate. You gotta get out there. You gotta expose yourself.
The best thing you can do is expose yourself as much as possible to as many people as possible, whether they want to see it or not.
Exactly. That's what I told well, you know what? No one turned on me yet in the chat. I think like sometimes I preemptively, throw stuff out there. So just in case it happens. So I say, you know what, you guys, I warned you early on that I'm going to be streaming every day and you're going to get sick of my face. And so everybody's like, we're not sick of it yet.
I think that's the way to do it, though. I mean, just oversaturate. And it was a premise I used in college. Expose yourself to as many people as possible. And eventually one of them isn't going to run away screaming.
Are you talking about dating, or are you talking about
just like there was some dating involved? There was a lot of not arrests, but stern talking tos by the police about what is acceptable and not acceptable on like college campuses and stuff.
Well, apparently, if you're in a gay pride parade, you can get away with it.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Yeah.
You can expose yourself all you want. There was a guy on the street thing, and they were talking to some cops at one of these gay pride things, and there were three female cops, right? And so the guy's like, there's people walking around naked and stuff, and stuff like that. And he goes, is that legal? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, I thought there were decency laws. I don't think this stuff is legal. And then he said, really? She goes, as long as they're not lewd acts, as long as people aren't like doing each other on the street and stuff like that. I'm going, that's where you draw the line.
You draw the line at actual sex on the street of nude people, like the bondage outfits and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, each his
own. I can't wait for the tide to turn. God, every day watching the Dems just crumble and knowing Trump is coming. It's like, thank God.
They're just hell bent on destroying like Western civilization.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, like I'm a rocker, you know, it's in my blood. And so I used to watch and just follow all these guys, right? So there's like people like Jim Morrison or like even some of the Beatles, like Paul McCartney. These guys used to get arrested. Like, you know, Jim Morrison's up. He puts his hands in his pants.
On stage, yeah.
And then he gets arrested.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I think they even went up on stage and arrested him at the show. You know, Paul McCartney has like a joint on him and, you know, he spends a week in jail or a month in jail or whatever the hell it is. It's like, it's crazy, right? And now, who cares, right? It's like,
well, it only matters depending on who you voted for.
That's true.
If your politics are wrong, you'll get arrested for the littlest thing.
Yeah.
And if your politics are right, you can get away with whatever you want and they're going to look the other way. So, and that's, I think, what this election's more about than anything is like the bullshit one-sidedness.
You know what? If you were a criminal, you should just take that and just see if you could really get away with it.
Have you watched videos from San Francisco?
Yeah. But I mean, like just anywhere, like the cops are coming after you, go like, I'm a Democrat.
Yeah.
I'm on the right side of history. Don't shoot.
Well, what was the thing is under $999, if you stole something under $999, they didn't prosecute. And like the iPhone, there's just free iPhones at the iPhone store as long as you can rip that cord loose.
Right, exactly. And the thing is, like you know, if you're gonna raid Walgreens and you can get away with, you know, $1 under 1,000, can you imagine how much stuff you could take from Walgreens?
You get like half the store for that.
Yeah, I know. Like shit, you know.
Walgreens doesn't have like a ton of high-end items.
Right, you know, like you could get just about
covered in deodorant and potato chips for the rest of the year.
You could get like one of everything in Walgreens, you know.
Bring in 3 garbage bags and like one at a time, just go down the aisle and pick one thing each.
And you know what else I thought about? It's like, is that per visit? So if you're going to rob, could you go in, like, let's just say you go
the next store and then rob them? Yeah, maybe.
Right, and then rob them and then so on and so forth. So you could actually just really accumulate like tens of thousands of dollars every day.
I don't know why you wouldn't.
I know there's nothing stopping you.
And then they're bitching because all the stores are closing in their downtown area. It's like, I wonder why. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. There's this upscale shopping area. It's in San Francisco. It's close to whatever that the school is, and very affluent area. And so just a man on the street went and filmed it. There wasn't one shop open. They were all
ghost town. Nobody on the sidewalks.
Right. Yeah. Like this is an upscale neighborhood.
Well, even like there's been a couple of the rich tech guys that, like, you know, Silicon Valley guys that have been murdered right in downtown San Francisco. And these guys are millionaires, if not billionaires. And what is that? What message does that send to the rest of those rich tech guys out in San Francisco? It's like, we don't want to be here anymore.
Hey, Bob. Yeah, we got you.
After the fact.
Are you okay, Bob?
No, I'm good, man. I just had to just running errands and everything for everybody, and took a little longer than I thought.
Got some family stuff going on.
Yeah,
Bob's
getting ready for the fourth.
Hershing on San Francisco politics.
It's not like it's hard.
Yeah. Hey, do you guys know if you can buy like things that explode on the 4th of July? Are those places still open, like last minute shoppers?
Walmart's always got like off the ground. They don't. Like in Minnesota, you can't shoot it into the sky, but like on the ground stuff, all those things, Walmart's got all that stuff all the time.
Yeah, depending.
So you
depending
can
on what state
buy fireworks at Walmart?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah,
but not the big ones that shoot in the sky.
Yeah,
like it depends. It goes state by state with those. Like I know, I can go over to Wisconsin and buy like the biggest freaking fireworks.
Yeah.
You know, but in Minnesota, I can't buy those here.
Same thing here in Ohio.
But like the little, like, because here in Texas, those things are permanent. Like they have those little side of the road like fireworks stands.
And they only open like this time of year. Yeah.
Right. Well, here it's twice a year because like New Year's in Texas in this area is a big like firework day.
Oh, yeah.
But do you know if those things are open on the 4th of July?
I'd be shocked if they weren't open tomorrow morning because the people
Yeah.
are gonna like. I mean, they're gonna sell to the last possible second.
Yeah,
Right.
I think
The day after
they'll
the
probably
4th
open
of
to
July,
like
it's
5
gonna
or so.
be half off sale.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
because
last night.
today was crazy. I was gonna get my wife doesn't want me to have these things. Like, I'm gonna blow myself up.
You use
But
the long lighting stick, Art. Don't get your fingers near those. Keep those precious fingers away from the
I'll use I'll use my left hand.
left
Don't do
hand.
that. Don't do the stupid stuff we used to do when I was a kid, where we would hold it in our hand like this.
No, I had a friend. I don't know what this guy was thinking. He had a baby food jar. Remember the glass jars? He put a firecracker in it, put it in his hand.
Glass. Oh my god.
Yeah, he was picking pieces of that out of his hand, wasn't he?
Out of his face, probably. Your hand's not that
Dude,
far from your face.
So
we used to chase each other, like we'd get in our cars, and we would shoot bottle rockets at each other's cars as we were driving.
Bottle rockets were like, you could kind of hold those by the stick and kind of aim them at your buddy.
No, dude, like we would make like freaking like homemade launchers and shit.
18 to 22 and drinking beer all day, shooting bottle rockets at each other seems like a good idea.
Doing whippets.
Yeah, the best part of Southern California as a kid was like firecrackers were against the law. Like, what do they call them? Cherry bombs, firecrackers. Like, they didn't sell those like over the counter kind of thing. But there was always kids that were going across the border, right? It was right there. They'd go into Baja. They'd bring back, they were called bricks. Firecrackers. Like, they'd be like this, and they would be packed together. I always just wanted, like, what if you blew the whole? Like, we
used to do that. Dude,
you blew up a whole brick of firecrackers at one time?
The way that they're wired, they're connected together. You can't go off once; it'll go one after the other, like that.
Also, they won't go at one time.
No, but what we did, because we were semi-intelligent and dumb at the same time. We would take them apart, put them all into one container, put all the gunpowder in one container. Dude, my buddy used to be
those old stick of dynamite like they had in like the westerns.
Yep.
And then they would be like,
that's what it looked like.
And then you would tie the wick together, and then you would just throw it as like this enormous bomb.
Dude, we used my buddy's brother was a trainer for special forces, so he knew how to make homemade explosive devices.
Oh geez.
And like my buddy would like make up homemade nitroglycerin, and we would go blow shit up in the woods.
What are those pipe bombs that you can make?
We used to make those too.
Like just household stuff you can just mix together.
Yeah.
But we only have Clint for a little bit, so I want to make sure we get this in here.
Oh, thank you, Art.
Pirate Queen versus Slave Girl. This is Clint's new campaign. He's 3 days out from closing this bad boy. Yep. So 18,790. Let's get that thing. Let's round it up today. Let's get this thing to 19K.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Is the final countdown. 3 days left. This ends Sunday night. This is the epic conclusion to the Pirate Queen saga. You get Pirate Queen versus Slave Girl. If you missed any of the earlier books, Pirate Queen Book 1, Book 2, or Slave Girl Book 1, they're all available in this campaign. You can get them as add-ons when you're checking out. I've got a bunch of variant covers. I've got adult variant cover bundle. Those are nude. They will be nude in print. They won't have any of the censor bars on them. A bunch of new characters in this book. This is the first appearance of Starwolf. He's kind of my homage to Lobo, and he's a bounty hunter hot on the trail of the Pirate Queen. This is an adults only comic. There is nudity. I do have nude variants. So all the good stuff, all the action. If you like TNA, you like sci-fi, you like a ton of action. And this is Pirate Queen facing off against her bad guys in kind of a final big battle royale. So going out with a big bang on this one. Only got like 160 some backers so far. So I'd really love to see that get boosted up through the weekend. And if you guys haven't checked out the book yet, I got previews of the interior pages in there. You can see what the book's all about, and just a lot of fun. So definitely, if you haven't checked it out yet, now's the time. It's going to be gone on Sunday. This is I extended past the 30 days to 60 days. So this is the end of the 60-day campaign. And in a lot of the links, you can get the secret discount tier reward, and that is going to save you basically $60 off the biggest tier. Basically, you're going to get 2 original art sketches and the adult original art sketches of Pirate Queen and Slave Girl, and you're basically going to get the adult prints for free. So it's a real good value, big bang for your buck. You get everything in the campaign, and you save $60 off. So trying to give everybody a little something with this campaign and go out on a high note with Pirate Queen. So
nice.
Yep. Yeah. Check it out. It ends Sunday night. And so, yeah, just a couple days left.
You guys, Clint's a good guy. The artwork is fun.
Even if I'm not a good guy, you guys don't know for sure. I could be a bastard, but still, go buy my comic book.
Yeah. But the thing is, the work is fun. The work is fun. The girls are sexy. And Clint always delivers, man. These campaigns, the man is a consummate pro. He gets stuff done. He gets it to you. So
100 copies, 100 backers for Maidens of Mayhem are already getting their books this week. Also, the reprinted retro versions of the Blue Bombshell cover. A bunch of people are getting their books this week for my last.
Wait. That's the one with the tromboner on it.
Yes, you gotta see the tromboner. Let's see.
There he is, the tromboner. You guys got to pick these things up. I mean,
when comes the tromboner?
Yeah, when he's on a giant shaft.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I found the most phallic retro comic that I could find, and I homaged it to the core because it was just too good.
The great part about this, Clint, and just like knowing you now, is like this stuff's done with love. Like you're going through like old Marvel covers, even your like the way you're like designing the books is with like the Marvel.
These are all love letters to the comics that I loved growing up, the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s comics. Yeah. Like sometimes I feel like Wildstorm, and sometimes I feel like J. Scott Campbell or Jim Lee. And other times I feel like John Buscema and John Byrne. And like I love messing with styles and like seeing how close I can mimic something and still kind of, keep that look, but, make it a little bit my own. And people, you do that and people are like, oh, you got to develop your own style. I got my own style, but I also like to kind of mess around with stuff too, just for my own, because I'm a fan of all this stuff, fan of all these artists. So lovingly homage to all the stuff that I grew up on.
I wonder if there's a little inker like in you, like, because like inkers like style, you know what I mean? And they're always learning new styles and stuff like that. I always felt like I was a bit of a chameleon. Like I always felt like I didn't have like a style per se. Like I had styles, that I did. Yeah.
I think if I had ran into you in the right time in the Hack Shack studio days, I probably would have made a hell of an inker.
Yeah. I think like you and I get along pretty well too. So I think we would have had a shit ton of fun hanging out at the studio. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you guys check that out. The link is in the description. Passmaster has been putting it in the chat as well. Thank you, Passmaster. And you guys go check that out, man. Let's get that thing up. I like round numbers. So what are we headed to? We're headed towards 18,000. Is that right?
We're at 18.7. We're almost to 19. So it would be terrific to get this to close to 20 before the weekend, and then you get that nice push, that big closeout push. So, and that's kind of why I plan it for Sunday night. So you'd have Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, get the ball rolling, get the word out there as much as possible, and hopefully have that big closeout weekend. So,
and you know what else, you guys? I just want to say this. I've said it on a couple of live streams. Man, the Bidenomics and stuff, we do understand, man. We feel your pain because we're not immune from it either. So, give what you can, and if you can't, back the book, shout it out on your social media. It all helps, man, because it's all like, like Clint did in his college days. You got to expose yourself. Yeah. So
shout it.
Keep throwing that trench coat open, showing your pecker
shout it out loud.
Ooh, yeah, I love that Kiss song.
That's a good one too.
We used to cover that song, like one of the first bands, like before we could even really play anything. Because it's just dan 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 dan, dan. Like, so almost I could figure it out on guitar. Yeah.
There was a couple of songs that are pretty simple. Like you could like get the crowd rocking, but you didn't need to know all the chords or everything.
Yeah, and then like the drums are just. When's
the last time you broke the drum set out, man?
The back is I have good days and bad days, so it's a little tough sometimes to play. But I think it was last month I got on those suckers, and what I really need to do is, because like the environment changes because the heads and it's a wooden shell. Like it changes, like so they can go out of tune real easy.
Because of humidity.
So it's hard for me just to jump in there and just start banging them because they sound horrible. So I really have to go in there and I have to tune those suckers up and get those things, into like where they sound decent, so I can play again. Because if they're out of tune, it's just like my ear just starts bleeding. It's just horrible.
Was it because of like the dryness and whatnot, or?
Yeah, I think it's the humidity and just like hot and cold, dry and wet and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so it kind of takes its toll on the kit, but it's all good. Yeah, I'll get in there. I'll start.
I still say you guys missed out on putting together a CG band, man, because I know there's other people that play instruments.
What we have to do is like I think if we do the CG con, we have to it would be easy to figure out. All we would do is get like 3 or 4 cover tunes, right? We're not going to play for hours or anything like that. But most like hotels and stuff have ballrooms. They have, places like that. We could set up. The only thing is amplification. Some hotels and ballrooms have their own PA systems. So maybe you could use that. But like drums, I would have to probably rent those at a local.
Nah, man. Yeah. You just get set up a stage in the middle of the friggin' convention floor, dude.
But how would I get my kit there, man?
Yeah. Okay, you got lackeys for that, man. You're in the band, man. You gotta have those guys that follow you around. Yeah.
Convention logistics can be a little tricky.
Right there.
What was good in the day is we did have roadies like in the little backyards and clubs and stuff, is because those guys would actually score with the ladies too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm all about getting them
reason to be there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'll bust my hump, carrying these heavy amplifiers or whatever, and then and then after the show, even sometimes during the show. Yeah, during the show, it's not who you know, it's who you blow, right?
Well, after the show, the band gets the ladies, so they gotta.
Sometimes get laid during the show.
Like tangent.
There's all kinds of weird shit that happens.
Yep.
It's all good though. But yeah, you guys, Clint's a good guy. Go back that book. And how long do we got you for, Clint? Do we got you for?
I can probably hang out for another 15, 20 or so. My family's up for the 4th already. We were kind of having a little bit of fun this afternoon already, shooting off some fireworks a little early. So I can't ditch them for too long, but I wanted to pop in here and hang out for a little bit. So
well, I'm glad you did. And I just want to let everybody know, if I do get up early and get some fireworks, I'll take pictures and I'll post them up.
Yeah.
It's been like 30 years, like before my daughter was born.
Well, you haven't shot fireworks off that long?
No, because we lived in like a hillside area community.
Oh, okay.
It was against the law. Like, I mean, it was dry California brush. I mean, we literally had a forest fire. So
I suppose.
No, man, you do a controlled burn before that. You get rid of it, and then
a controlled burn takes half the state in California. There are no controlled burns.
So they've had controlled burns, and they just get out of control because the Santa Ana's come up.
Bob's like, half of California burnt down, and nothing was lost.
Yeah, and nothing of value was lost.
Yeah, just a bunch of dirt.
But I don't know what you guys already talked about, man, because like there was all kinds of dumb shit.
Well, you have that Ronda Rousey. Is it an article or just
dude, hang on, man. Let me pull that thing up.
Mike Deodato. What the?
Dude, what happened to him?
Well, I would say it's probably a good paying gig.
Well,
like,
no,
Deodato, like, didn't he kind of semi-retire?
Did you see what his art looks like now? He went the Greg Horn route, dude. He traces stuff.
It's not Mike.
It's just like he's tracing photographs.
And that's probably what he's doing.
Yeah.
Or guys in his studio is doing.
Yeah, he's always been kind of guy that was emulating styles, right? Like he was like, I'm Jim Lee this month or whatever, and that kind of
thing. And he has a studio of guys. Like a lot of the South American guys, when you hire one guy, you're getting like 5 guys, and they all try to draw the same.
Yeah.
And Deodato is like one of those guys that's had a studio of guys. Like there's a reason.
He's incredibly like left wing too, right? Like he's
yeah, dude. He's
kind of a militant dude.
Yeah, you've seen those videos he does on Twitch. I'm not Instagram, where he's doing like katas and stuff. Like he's gonna beat the shit out of all the right wingers.
Oh geez, whatever.
I like Deodato, or was it Deodato? At least back in the day. Yeah, you know what? He did a run on Wonder Woman when
I think that's what everybody remembers.
Yeah, they ditched the Wonder Woman outfit and they put her into some kind of like jogging outfit or something like that, like a workout suit. Yeah. But you know what? You know who Kevin Nash is, Bob?
Yes, I know who Kevin Nash is.
I did a Kevin Nash book.
Oh, cool.
A comic book, yeah. And
what were the 2 things he was? Was he Diesel in one?
He was Diesel. He was Diesel in WWE, and he was just went by Kevin Nash in WCW.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was the Kevin Nash time. I don't know too much about wrestling, but
Razor Ramon.
No, that was Scott Hall. That was his best friend.
So it was Diesel and Razor Ramon in one, and then it was Scott Hall and
Kevin Nash in WCW. Yeah.
What was Nash's nickname?
Big Sexy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I got
those guys were a piece of work.
Yeah,
man, those dudes changed the business, man. They're the reason why these guys that wrestlers get paid really well now.
Yeah.
Because they were like, screw it, you want us to do this, you're gonna pay us.
Oh wait, I like this. Wait, Kevin Thomas says, why give Jim $35K when you can give Art a case and a few blunts for the same commission? Hey, if you can get me some fireworks, man. They're also illegal here, though. Like where I live now, they're illegal. But the weird thing is, like, there's the Woodlands, which is a community, but right on the perimeter, like all the way around the perimeter, it's like it's crime central. It's just there's these fireworks stands everywhere.
Oh, and I thought Texas, like, those fireworks were like a big green light go. I didn't.
Well, we're in the woods, so maybe they're afraid.
It's probably regional then.
Set the forest on fire or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Who knows?
Yeah. Like I said, like Deodato's artwork used to be pretty good, but now he's just like when I show you this stuff he's doing for this Ronda Rousey book, man, it's just he's literally just tracing over top of photos.
And I don't.
You know what? Ronda Rousey might be part of the criteria, because sometimes when you do like real people, you know, and
licensing,
they want those.
She's pretty vain.
I did a Stargate book, and it was basically you needed to trace the actors' faces, otherwise it wouldn't get approved by licensing.
But
I made the mistake. Like I got hired to do some Buffy covers, and so I had to audition, and so I tried to do kind of like a hybrid of like Michelle Gellar and like my comic book style, and they weren't flying with it, man. And I'm like,
Scott Alley.
And I could have got the gig if I just traced the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is, I didn't want to do that, so I just didn't, pursue it. I just
God forbid you have some integrity. But now here, I'll share this out. You get it because here's the thing.
Let's judge your stuff.
She's writing it, so it's already going to be a freaking train wreck. Because if you know anything about Ronda Rousey, man,
bizarre. It's such the whole concept is.
It's weird, man.
All I can think of is she did a couple of those movie spots. So she's got like a Hollywood agent.
Yeah.
And then she sees some of these people doing comic books and turning them into movies. And so like her agent's like, do a comic about yourself and then we can turn it into a movie starring you.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw this. Is she pregnant? What's going on?
She's pregnant.
So she's a hit woman who has a fake baby bump that's full of guns.
Oh God.
But then she gets knocked up for real. So yeah, so it's both. And here's the thing, man. If you know anything about wrestling, all right, so the guy with the beard, that's Triple H. That's 100%, dude. That's 100% Triple H.
Yeah.
The guy in the middle looks just like another guy. He's named The Miz.
The Miz. I was going to say The Miz.
And the guy on the
Heyman.
That's Paul Heyman. Yeah.
Paul Heyman on the
They're
end.
literally just tracing these people, man.
So this is like backdoor pushed by WWE, basically.
No, because WWE and her are not on good terms.
Well, what's
why would they be using WWE guys as side characters? Yeah,
because she has a lot to say about certain people there.
Oh boy.
Hey Bob, what's AWA then?
That is that's a comic book company.
Okay, so that's a publishing company.
Yeah,
okay.
AWA CC graphic novels. They did some. It's one of those. God, what is the name of that friggin' all graphic novels? So they did like some like they do a lot of Deodato stuff and the people that are like part of his studio. Like they did this one from Deodato called Absolution. It's mostly shit. it's like what was that? Was it Aftershock? Remember that?
Yeah.
That kind of, it's that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's
well,
that
I thought Deodato had kind of retired, kind of stepped away from comics and made a big stink about it too.
Maybe they did a book with Dan Panosian.
AWA did?
Yeah.
Is this a crowdfund or is this going to go through?
It's going through Kickstarter.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure they're crowdfunding.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I did see this like ads or something.
Any kind of recognizable name now is realized you can go on crowdfunding, do a comic, raise a couple $100,000.
Here's the thing.
What's his name? Keanu Reeves. You know,
that Keanu Reeves book, like that showed everybody the way.
Yeah.
Well, didn't even Stallone did one too. You know,
Stallone did two of them. I think he did one. It was like an extension of the Expendables.
Yeah.
And then he also just did that one with was it First Blood? No, not or that one with your boy Zach.
Oh, something with Rambo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I don't either.
But
the Hollywood types are realizing this is a good, like, having the comic book is an easy way to throw it in front of like Hollywood producers and stuff.
Yeah, the thing is,
enough comic book stuff is still getting made that they're like, oh yeah, let's make a comic of our idea, and then these executive producers don't have to read a script; they can just look at a comic. So,
right? But is this a pre-launch? Is that what this is here?
Yeah, this is a pre-launch, but they do have a video here. You guys ready?
Oh god, yeah. I'm a little scared.
My name is Ronda Rousey.
That was incredible.
Nobody
put some makeup on.
Ronda Rousey.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
Nobody asked me to, but I wrote a graphic novel.
Yeah, you're right. No one asked you.
Is about two rival assassins end up unexpectedly pregnant and discover that giving life is harder than taking it. We're going to be able to offer you things you can't get anywhere else. Hardcover books, free signed editions.
That's pretty good.
Drawn in by Mike Deodato. You can be an assassin who gets their ass kicked by me. Lucky you. Sign up at our pre-launch page now.
Well, and she's all into it if she's doing the promo thing for it, then like she's figuring most of the money's going into her pocket and she's going to get some sort of movie deal out of it.
Well, and I
that
think
was definitely a Hollywood pitch, and she was pretty good in the video. I mean, there was attitude.
Oh, yeah.
and there was a good sales pitch.
Yeah.
No, that was a great sales pitch out of her. She put the time in, so that means she's back in this project.
Well, she's in it to win it. But the thing is, she just
these layouts. These layouts are disturbing.
Yeah,
all that line.
Read that stuff. That's weird.
But the other thing too is she just did an autobiography book, and it tanked.
Her 15 minutes of fame, I think, kind of flown by.
Yeah, she.
How long has she been out of the circuit?
Well, she left MMA about what was it, 8 or 9, about 8.
Yeah,
8 or 9
it
years
was
ago.
a long time ago.
She got
Fast and Furious stuff.
Yeah, she got because what it was is like she got a big name in UFC, and they were touting her and they're all about how amazing she was and everything. The problem is, think about anybody who knows anything about UFC as a fighter. If you don't evolve, you're going to get smashed.
Yeah,
and she was a great grappler, but she sucked as a freaking her striking sucked.
All right, go back to like a page and don't flip through it.
It's doing it automatically.
Oh, it's doing it automatically.
Yeah,
I'll try to answer the question, Danky. Is it looks like a grid, like a floating grid.
Yeah.
They're not like individual panels, and some of them are just kind of cutting into others. So it's kind of disturbing. It's like one single image that is cut into maybe three, like with 3 lines through it, and it's kind of, you can do that with comics if it's kind of like you're trying to do a pan shot or something like that. But the way this is done, it's kind of artsy, but it's not good for readability.
No, it's not good for storytelling. And they're going to have to take the word balloons and just splash them around and fit them where they can.
Yeah,
that's what
the word balloons are going to make the layout very obvious that it's not working.
Yeah, it's going to be really tricky.
Yeah, you're going to have to put those word balloons inside of some kind of a shape. So where would you put those at? If we could freeze it, I could kind of give you a better idea. There's that one shot of the room, that down shot, and you can do that with comics. And what that does is it kind of looks like it's a pan shot, and so sometimes you can have like if you think of Frank Miller's writing, you can have somebody say like a thought, and then another thought, then another thought. So it's kind of like the camera's panning over, and then a payoff where the guy's walking through the door or something like that.
Yeah.
So you can do stuff like that. But the way this is done, it's not really, because that one, like the last panel where she's walking in, is just nothing. The second to the last one is the payoff. So it's just kind of bizarre.
Yeah, and it's like I said, man, this thing is gonna be a freaking train wreck.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's good enough looking, and this is through Kickstarter, right?
It's through Kickstarter, and it's got about 650. Let's see how many exactly they got. They got about 600, close to 700 people to pre.
Oh, does it tell you how many people have signed up to their mailing list?
Yeah, that's kind of strange.
Yeah,
this is it says
Indiegogo does not do that.
Yeah, 629 other people have supposedly signed up for it.
Right. I mean, that's not terrible, but it's not great.
Yeah. The thing is, the guild.
You know what? Wait, hold on. I got to interrupt. You know what else Kickstarter does is they don't only say the 629 like people signed up. They also give their names and addresses. So.
Yeah.
What?
No, they don't.
So right here, I actually found.
Look at Bob. Bob, you can't even make Bob smile anymore. Look at
Bob. I'm looking stuff up here, man. I found the sign up, the pre-sign up page for it on Kickstarter. It's got way less than this. It's got 418 people following it.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
So it ain't
so Ron's got a lot of friends in high Kickstarter places.
Apparently.
Yeah. This seems like a long shot for her. And if you're trying this, it means a lot of the other. I mean, you were in like major motion pictures, you were in like giant pay-per-views, you were one of the biggest stars in WWE, and now you're trying to just get your comic book going on Kickstarter. Like that seems like a massive drop off.
Yeah. Like I said, she basically burned a lot of bridges. She's one of those people that if she doesn't get her way, or if you don't like kiss her ass.
I don't think she learned how to play the Hollywood game.
No.
And that makes a big difference. Like,
she also didn't learn how to.
John Cena, when John Cena said something about China, guess what? The first thing John Cena did was he went and apologized. It made himself look like a dope, but he went and apologized to China as quick as he could.
Yeah.
So it's like, you got to play the game.
The thing is about Ronda Rousey, like, she's the real deal. Like, in the day, she was pretty badass, right?
Oh yeah, she was tough.
She was she helped. I ain't gonna take this away from her, man. I'm not the biggest fan of her, but she did really elevate women's MMA.
Oh yeah,
hugely. She was for a good 4 or 5 years. She was the biggest star in MMA.
Did she ever fight Gina Carano?
No.
No, they were two different eras, but her and Gina Carano, they made women's UFC what it is today.
Yeah.
So Carano was like the next generation, like after this woman, Ronda?
Gina came, Ronda came right after Gina, basically. What the hell?
Oh, so Ronda came after Gina.
Yes.
Oh.
And Gina was early on. Gina was probably like 15 years ago when Gina was fighting.
Wow,
Ronda,
I didn't know that long ago.
Yeah, Ronda was go look at the Gina Carano weigh-in pictures.
Yeah. Dude, she was a smoke show.
She
looked like a kid, like in those things.
Yeah, but she was gorgeous. And I mean, by the time she was doing the Star Wars stuff and Mandalorian, she had already put on a lot of weight, but still was a gorgeous woman. But compared to her early UFC things, it's like, wow.
Well, she retired because of health reasons, though.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, you get punched in the face enough, you're going to have health reasons to retire.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. She has a condition. I can't remember what it is.
No.
But she was basically forced to retire. But if she honestly, if she and Ronda had fought, she probably would have whooped Ronda's ass. Because Gina was a much better.
Carano was a stand-up fighter.
Yeah.
Because did Carano fought Cyborg, Chris Cyborg?
Yeah, Cyborg, and that fight she lost, I believe.
Yeah, but that was a tough ass fight. Like, those girls were punching each other in the face.
And Cyborg, dude, Jesus Christ, dude, you want to talk about a woman that looks like a friggin' man?
Yeah,
God
Cyborg.
Damn, Chris Cyborg, dude,
was a good nickname for her.
Dude, Chris Cyborg was a scary looking person, dude.
And did Cyborg? I don't know. I don't think she ever fought Rousey though, because I think their careers overlapped. Yeah. But I don't think
Ronda ducked her.
Oh, okay.
Ronda was ducking her for a long time. It wasn't like the big fight.
I think Cyborg fought Holly Holmes, and Holly Holmes is the one that knocked out Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. Holly beat Ronda, and then Amanda Nunes beat Holly.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And Amanda Nunes beat Cyborg, which I was like, holy shit, dude. Amanda Nunes is like, holy shit.
Yeah. Some of those girls, man, they're tough as hell.
Yeah, she's the one that they should have been talking about, like, fighting guys. Yeah, Ronda. Because I remember like, it sounds so stupid now, but they were talking about they were saying that she should fight Floyd Mayweather.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, dude, Floyd Mayweather would freaking murder her.
Yeah,
in like 10 seconds, man.
Yeah, especially any kind of male professional fighter, even if he's like really like a lightweight, featherweight. They're gonna just destroy. Yeah, you don't want. I would not want to see that fight.
Yeah.
No one wants to see a bloodbath. The thing is, like, I was talking to a panel about this. They were saying like men competing in women's sports and all that. You don't want to see nobody that's a sports fan wants to see a bloodbath. You want to see? You want to see you want to see a good match. You want to see two evenly matched people go at each other, and you want to see a good fight. Bob, you don't want to see that. You're just giving me shit.
No,
you want to see a good fight. Why would you want to see a bloodbath? Why?
I want to see, dude. I want to see guys beat.
What kind of sicko are you, Bob? What kind of sicko are you?
When I watch a friggin' fight, I want to see someone whooping someone's ass.
But don't you want to see two see two evenly matched people go.
Oh, 100%. But I want to see them beat the
That's
shit
what
out
I'm
of each other.
talking
Yeah,
about.
I'm fine with one winning. That's different than like
Right. Yeah.
somebody who's
Bro,
stronger
dude,
beating
I could
somebody
show
who's
you, dude.
weaker.
I could show you right now the greatest friggin' MMA fight of all time, and it is literally two
Oh,
dudes
you drunk.
grabbing each other by the shoulder and just punching each other in the face.
Oh, you're talking about Fry, right?
Yep.
And the big
Yep.
Asian guy. That's
Yep.
a
You
great
know-
fight, but those guys were evenly matched.
You know what I like to see? I like to see it in real life. Did you see that Burger King fight?
Oh
It's
my
like,
God.
okay, this big black guy, bald-headed dude, and I guess his wife or his girlfriend or whatever come in, and then there's another guy behind the counter, and these are two big dudes, right?
Oh, is this at a Burger King? Okay,
Burger
I
King.
just saw that fight.
Yeah. And so then from what I read, it's like they gave this guy some free food. They tried to make everything right to calm this guy down, right? But he wouldn't calm down. So finally, the guy behind the counter calmly goes over. You had a little door there, opens the door, walks around, and just punches the guy right in the face. And then the guy gets up and he punches him like bomb, 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 like a couple more times. The guy kind of comes down, gets up again. You would love this, Bob. You got to see.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
he
you
punches
would.
it the last time. He lays that guy out like he's just flat on his back.
Dude,
The
I'm gonna be,
Burger
honestly,
King guy, the employee guy, is
Yeah.
easily 6'3", 300
Yeah,
pounds.
he's huge. Yeah.
And the
Dude.
guy that's arguing with him is a big guy, but he's not as big as the guy behind the counter.
those
Like,
fights,
He's
man.
big, but he's not tall. Yeah, the
yeah,
other
I would
guy.
not have gotten anywhere near that dude.
Those
That dude
kind
is gonna crush
those
you.
kind of fights, man. Those are the ones that scare me, man, because those are the ones when those guys go down, man.
Oh, they go down.
Their heads just
Kids bounce.
bounce off the. Oh my God, that's how somebody dies.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how someone dies.
I don't
man.
want to see anybody die, but there is something about like you're just talking about. You want to see some, like I want to see justice, and that's justice to me. You know, like
it was.
that guy was
Dude.
asking for
He
it.
was
you know?
asking for it. He was
Yeah.
asking for it.
Oh,
and he
dude,
got
no.
it.
I love it when people get their comeuppance, man.
Yeah.
Like
But
nothing.
I should
Nothing.
cut out, guys.
All right, man. Take it
Have
Thanks
a
easy.
for
great
having me on
Fourth.
tonight, Art. Appreciate
Yeah.
it. Good seeing you, Bob. Everybody have a great 4th
Yeah.
of July. And Sunday night, Pirate Queen versus Slave Girl closes out.
Woohoo.
Back it before it's gone. It is live on Indiegogo. Follow the links because you can't find it in the search there. So use the direct links.
Okay.
Yes, and the
Thanks,
link is in
guys.
the description, you guys. Yeah, you have a good Fourth, Clint. Thanks for
Yeah,
coming
you
in.
guys do. Talk to you later.
Yep, I got Pirate Queen versus Slave Girl link in the chat. So, but
Yeah.
I put in here. I posted a link to the fight between Fry and Takayama. Dude,
What is this? Don.
oh
Fry?
Don, he starred in Godzilla Final Wars.
Oh,
He-
okay.
yeah, he was the captain of one of those, like, you know, those drill ships that they always have, like flying through the air and stuff. Like, he was like the
Right.
captain of one of those.
That'd be the best part about casting a movie, right? Getting all your heroes, getting them in your movie.
Yeah, just doing just goofy stuff.
Yeah, just like little cameos, you know, just have
Yeah.
people come in. Yeah.
But yeah, Don Fry as Douglas Gordon, Captain Gordon.
So where were we going? You were going to show something or
No, did you guys already talk about the Jim Lee commission thing?
no? If you have that price sheet,
Yeah,
Um,
I got it. Here,
yeah,
give me
grab
1 second. I'll put that up here.
yeah, it's weird. Like it's getting a lot of attention, but to be honest, I haven't heard any real overtly negative stuff about it. It seems like a lot of people are supporting it. Some fans are like, "Oh, it's very expensive. It's whatever." But to be honest, I don't think they were going to be able to afford Jim Lee anyway.
Well, it's
always been expensive.
Yeah, it's the kind of people that are on board with AI art. You know what I mean? It's people
Right.
that like, why should I pay this much money for something? You know, and it's like, well, first off, it's Jim freaking Lee.
Right.
Okay? Is there a bigger rock star in comic books than Jim Lee?
Not right now, no.
You'd be challenged to, you know, like, oh well, this guy or this guy, yeah. But are they still producing artwork and stuff today? And the answer is no.
Yeah.
You know. Secondly, if you look at like what his stuff goes for, on like heritage auctions or something like that, starting at $20,000, which is like that's where it starts at. I think it's 11 by 17 full figure, one character with limited backgrounds for 20 grand. And if there's one more character or extra backgrounds, then it can go up between 25 and 35,000.
Yeah.
You look at his stuff; it sells for around that. And part of the reason why, I guess, according to some people, they've talked to them. They said that part of the reason why he's doing this is it's a big FU to the scalpers, people that try to, like, get art cheap and then sell it for way more.
Right.
So he's like, instead of that, I'm gonna just sell it for what it generally goes for, and this stuff like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like when Stan Lee was charging so much for the signatures before he passed and stuff, and there were people like, "Oh, this is whatever, this is bad," But the thing is, there are scalpers, there are people that were making money off of him. So as he's still alive, he should benefit from the fruits of his labor. So I don't begrudge anybody these dollars. And the thing is, it's still a free country. If you don't want to pay for it, you don't have to. And anybody that's going to really complain too much about the price of these Jim Lee pieces was never going to be able to afford a Jim Lee piece anyway. You know what I mean? Because they've been expensive for a long time now.
Yeah. And if you look at the way he's doing this, it's like this is the first time in a really long time. It's like 15 years since he's done it. He's only doing it exclusively for show attendees. So nobody that's going to be selling it, or nobody, like no scalpers, none of that stuff. It's only for show attendees, and he will not ship it out. It will be drawn there, and then it's a limit of 6 per show. So he's limiting it. He basically it's a fan thing.
If you did 6 of those at a show, even at 20K a pop,
120 grand.
Holy shit, man!
Only Jim freaking Lee.
Yeah.
Only Jim Lee could do that, man.
Yeah, I think he'll be lucky if he even gets one of those per show. But it's good also to limit them, because if he's going to do them at the show, I'm surprised he's offering that many at the show, because that's a lot of work.
It's 6 commissions total, but that's the most expensive commission. It goes all the way down to
it could be any
headshot
it could
for
be a
$1,000
headshot or one of the It's not just the 11 by 17 ones. Okay.
And then he also like blank comic covers. If it's like a bust with no backgrounds, $8 grand, $12K if it's a wraparound, and he'll like supply the blank cover, and you can supply your own as well. But it's like basically he's doing this. It's like again, only he's the only one that could do this.
Right.
And it's basically he's like, I know what the stuff's worth. For the big fans, I'll do this for you guys, and because knowing how fast he works, man, he could knock like 4 headshots out in like an hour.
Yeah. So keep going with the prices. So that's for like 11 by 17.
Yeah.
What's the next one down?
9 by 12 inches, waist up figure, limited backgrounds, 9,000 to 15,000. We'll have backgrounds, and the more you pay, you can have other characters in the scene. So that's actually variable. Small headshot sample shown, $1,000. Size is 3.5 by 7 inches.
I don't see any small headshots there.
No, but these are like the examples for like 11 by 17.
Those are 11 by 17. Yeah.
Yeah, something like this.
Holy shit!
Oh yeah, dude! I actually watched him draw this live on his Twitch.
Yeah, that could be worth 20K.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. And then like this is another one he drew live on his Twitch channel right here.
So it's not just shows, like he'll do them on his Twitch, and then the same pricing and everything.
Well, he does a lot of stuff on his Twitch channel and everything, and then he sells it. But the ones he's doing for this thing are only going to be at the shows, and that's it.
At this point, you couldn't hire Jim Lee to do a comic book. No. There's no point in him drawing sequential stuff anymore. I mean, if you can go on your Twitch channel and sketch out an image on 11 by 17 board and make 20K or more, there's no reason, right, to do sequential stuff.
Well, that's why Will Spartasio somebody asked him why he doesn't do more internal work anymore and anything. He said, I can go to conventions and make just as much money just drawing the cool stuff. So why should I, worry about that kind of stuff? So I mean, someone like Jim will do interiors when he feels like it.
Jim's still a company guy, so I can see, you would want to basically, in my own terms, like throw DC a bone every once in a while, But really, other than that, there's no reason for Jim to do any interiors, because if it's just about money, you can rack up some big bucks just doing commissions like this.
Yeah. And I think the last time he did interiors was for, was it Detective, the big Detective Comics, was it Detective Comics 1000 or whatever it was?
Okay.
Whichever, the big anniversary one that was a couple of years ago. Yeah, he did interiors for that. He only did like 5 pages of interiors for that, and that was it.
You know what I wonder about is like Scott Williams, since he was so linked closely to Jim, and Scott's pretty much been aced out of this equation. I know Scott does commissions, but he isn't racking up this kind of money.
Well, Jim still does a lot of inking for Jim though. These pieces that Jim does, pieces Jim will pencil them and then he'll send them off to Scott to ink them.
Commissions.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It depends on what it is. Like sometimes Jim will do it. Like these, I think Jim did himself, like the ones that we're seeing here. But there have been a couple of them that he did on his, like I said, on his Twitch channel and stuff like that, that he'll send them over to Scott and have Scott ink them for him.
Well, that's good. They're still taking care of Scott.
And then they actually did a thing where Scott did a bunch of covers for Marvel. And a couple of those, they actually reversed roles. Jim inked them for him. And I think he did
Marvel. Marvel.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then also
I can see Scott doing it because Scott doesn't necessarily have the same kind of allegiance to DC as Jim does, but Jim,
I think there was at least one of them where they switched places. Yeah, it might have been that one. When they did that, it might have been a DC one, but I know that Scott did like.
Well, there's that crossover too, so there might have been something to do. with the
I think that that's the one I think that they shared.
Yeah, I can see that. So what else? So we got the 9x12, and then he's got like little card illustrations, like profiles.
Yeah, right? 3.5 by 7 inches. Those are the headshots, $1,000, and then
so $1,000 for a profile headshot.
Yep.
Oh my God,
Jim Lee, dude, it's Jim. Like I said, he's the only person that could do this, man.
Yeah, but you don't understand, Bob. I used to do conventions sitting right next to this guy, and we used to do convention drawings for free. We would just do free, right? So these profiles were always the things you could get in and out of quickly. You know what I mean? At conventions, you could do linear line art, and you could bang out like a Wolverine profile in like next to no time. So I used to see this guy draw these things in just minutes. So Jim Lee, if he got a bunch of these smaller drawings, what's the size of them?
3.5 by 7 inches. So it's basically the size of a postcard. It's like that.
Like a trading card. Yeah, a postcard.
Yeah,
so Jim could knock these thing out in a minute. He could make $1,000 a minute.
Yeah.
If he wanted to.
Or just like if he did like 20 of those in a day. That's 20 grand in a day.
Well, easily, like in the day, we would do 20 at least at a convention a day. You know what I mean?
That's just chilling out. So if he does, let's say he gets one of these 11 by 17s. Let's just go like the low end. So he gets 20. He gets one of these. He gets one of the 9 by 12s, and then like 10 of these small
3 by 7s.
Yeah. So that's 30. So 30. That's 40,000. That's 40 grand in a day. But here's the thing: if those people wanted to, because like these are guys, they're gonna be fans. They're gonna be like, I'm taking this is gonna be in my collection forever, you know, or whatever. If they wanted to, they could turn around and throw it on Heritage Auction and get that money right back.
You know, there's one thing, you know, when you brought this up on one of my live streams earlier in the week, the thing about what Jim, why he's smart is because even after he's gone, this stuff is still going to have that value because there's nobody that spent $30,000 on a piece of artwork that's going to sell it for less than $30,000, right? So even in 10 years, it's never going to go down unless there's just absolutely nobody that wants to buy it. There's no market and the guy's desperate to sell it. Otherwise, it's always going to retain that value because, like I said, you spent that kind of money, you're not going to sell it any cheaper. You're just not going to do it. No. You'll hold on to it.
Yeah, and that I think that's the idea behind what they're doing here is he's cutting out the middleman and he's just selling it straight to the people.
Well, also where I'm going with it is the price of it. It then has value because one of the things we do as artists is we assign a value to our work. I mean, part of it is there's some market research, right? You go out and you see what people will pay, what they won't pay, you know, that type of thing. You compare to other artists that you think you're on the same level with. You know, there's things like that go into pricing, like factors that you know bring you to how much you're going to charge, right?
Yeah.
But Jim, ever since I've known him, because we used to sell artwork together. Like if I worked on his stuff, we sold it as a package deal. Like the artwork never even came to us, the X-Men stuff. It went to like a broker. I don't know if it's Scott Dunbeer or who it was. And then like a third party sold that stuff and then just sent us checks. But it was always kind of at a higher price, right? Yeah. It was always like you don't want to sell the stuff on the cheap and you never negotiate down on the price because you want the artwork to always be worth a certain amount, right? And so Jim has done that, but he's consistently done that for decades. I mean, Jim's been doing this for almost as long as I have, you know, so he's got experience. He knows what the market is. He knows all that stuff. So every year he keeps going up. The value, you know, keeps going up. And then you're where he's at now. And like I said, the value of that artwork is going to stay that value even after Jim's gone because no one is going to sell that stuff for less. You know, it's kind of like owning a Frank Frazetta or Bernie Wrightson, you know?
And when he's gone, it's just going to go up even more. You know?
It could potentially, of course.
Because the thing is like you look at some of his stuff, you know, it goes for like, you know, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. And then you have stuff like this Death Blow image, this Death Blow #9 cover. It's $100,000. You know, he's got stuff that sells for, you know, like, you know, one of the Wolverine covers he did, $144,000. Death Blow #1, $102,000. You know, the dude's stuff, even today, even though he doesn't do interiors and stuff anymore, he still does enough that he's out there. And it's in demand. Like he's one of the last megastars.
I have an oversized Will's pencil. This looks like promotional stuff for when we were going to take over the X-Men. It's big. It's bigger than 11 by 17. It's got all the X-Men on it. And he penciled it up. And I got about like a figure into it. And then for some reason, it never went any further. I don't remember why or any of that, but I still have that image. I have that artwork. I wonder what it's worth.
And I will say this: you look at the stuff where he's inked by Scott does go for more. So Scott's got some cachet in this as well.
Yeah, Art of Roy said I wouldn't want Jim Lee alone. Has to be inked by Scott. I'm kind of like I like Scott over Jim, but I also like when Jim inks himself. I kind of like both. you know. So like for me, like Jim does some stuff that seems unexpected and seems a little looser, and I like that. And then like Scott comes in and cleans things up, you know. But it's always a beautiful line, you know, that Scott's putting on there. Like it is a work of art. Like Jim is more just kind of like getting it done, but you know, Scott's stuff is always a lot more polished looking.
Well, I honestly, and this isn't, you know, taking anything away from any other inkers, including yourself, that have done his work before. Nobody interprets him the way Scott does. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like the two of them have worked together so much that they're just in sync with each other. You know what I mean? And there have been people like that. There have been teams like that through the years. I'm sure you guys, you know, of people like that as well. Other artists where, like, you know, when they're together, it just click. Like when they're with other people, it's great, but when they're with that one person, it just clicks on another level.
Yeah, I got the ultimate compliment on my inks on Will's. Jim told me, he said, your inks on Will's is the best I've ever seen in the day. He said because it was weird. He didn't say you humanize it, but there is kind of like this kind of strangeness that Will's has. Like that faces and stuff look kind of
they're kind of off.
They look almost alien, like they're like if he was doing Alien Legion or something like that, like it would be perfect. Like when he was doing Wetworks, I thought it was perfect, you know, because these characters aren't like quite human looking and stuff like that. And so I always held on to that. I thought that was a really cool compliment. But I have to say, like Scott's textures and stuff over Will's, just fantastic. Just, I mean, I'm talking early stuff, like when they were still experimenting, when they were still trying new stuff before, you know, it got too polished and stuff, like, you know, like that. Like when I was inking Jim, I was doing finishes on X-Men. Like that's when it got to like, it was a science, you know what I mean? Like it was polished. It was all, there was a system to it. You know, there wasn't a lot of unexpected stuff because we were definitely in the groove and we had to get stuff done. You know what I mean? So there wasn't a lot of room for experimentation, where in the early days when we first started, you know, we were trying all kinds of new stuff. Hey, we got Pedro Eng in the house. What's up, brother?
Oh, just getting.
Oh my God. I ain't seen you in forever, man. I thought you got eaten by a jaguar or something.
Oh, yeah, we got those down here. But no, just been busy. Drawing a lot and animating, learning new tools. So,
hey, can I talk about, oh my gosh, I forgot his name now. Everybody's got code names hanging out in CG. You did a video for him.
Oh, for Pixel Trader?
Yeah, Pixel Trader, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Critical Snail. Yeah, that's
we can't talk about it. I don't know.
I mean, it's already out, so yeah, we can. Oh,
he showed it off.
Yeah.
Hey, Art, did you ink Wills on any of his X Factor stuff?
I inked all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Too. Yeah.
Yeah, we started on X Factor. Jim was on Uncanny. And then the new book was created, X-Men. So then Jim went to X-Men, and then Wilson went to Uncanny. And then that lasted maybe 6 issues. And then I think Jim was getting behind, and I was doing finishes on Wills too, on those Uncanny issues. And so I think Jim needed a little bit of a break. So I went on to X-Men because I was doing finishes on all that. So all that stuff was finishes. Jim wasn't doing full pencils. Yeah, so I don't know if a lot of people know that, you know. So I was just getting outlines, all that rendering stuff. I was making that stuff up. So I'm gonna pat myself right here.
There you go.
Yeah, because as I say, like, because the way his art worked, his artwork looked on X Factor carried over when he went into Uncanny X-Men, and thank you, Frank. That's actually like the way he does faces with other people. They almost look kind of soulless.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that remember when he did. Then they did the Heroes Reborn stuff, the Iron Man stuff. That's when I really noticed the difference in the way his faces looked, because they just looked. It's almost like they had bug eyes at points and stuff like that. It was weird.
Yeah, Jim. I think Jim said something like, "You humanize Wils's faces." It was something like that. And I didn't really know that I was changing it. At the time, I was just kind of doing what felt, natural. So that's what I was doing. But it's always good, especially like now that like Jim is Jim Lee. At the time it was like, well, he's just this guy.
It was just Jim. It was just Jim.
It's just the guy with the highest selling comic book of all time.
Yeah, it's just
they were okay selling books at that time. It built to something, crazy. And then how you were talking about like the dollars that you were saying, like he could make a day. Now, doing the commissions, he was making that on X-Men.
I know.
Wow.
I'm sure, man. And like that's the narrative.
Actually, he was probably making more because then he got to sell the original page as well. Yeah.
See, that's the narrative that a lot of people throw out about the Image guys, that they left because they were being cheated. And I was like, dude, they were getting paid bank to work on those books.
Yeah.
They were getting paid very, very well by Marvel.
The whole celebrity comic book artist era.
Yeah, they were rock stars. They were in the comic book industry. They were rock stars. But when they left and formed Image, they made even more. So but the idea that they left because they were being cheated, it was like, that's kind of bullshit. They left because they wanted more creative control, and they probably knew that they could make a lot more.
Was it really? We got like what? Like Eager's got like 1% of 1% of the royalties. Like Pesla's got a little bit more, and writers got the same as the inker rate.
Yeah.
So they weren't paying shit out. I mean, it was good money, but based on the percentage that they were giving everybody. And also you have to remember, it was after like 30,000 sold. So they had to sell 30,000 for the royalties. And Marvel at the time weren't calling them royalties; they were incentives. So there was a big difference in the amount of money.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah.
What it was, Bob. Just to try to set the record straight.
Yeah.
It was about respect. It was about respect because Marvel did not want to cop to the fact that we were contributing something to these books. They wanted to say it was all the IP. It was all the characters. And the thing is, it's not true. Spider-Man was selling what it was selling before Todd McFarlane came on, and then it just went through the roof. X-Men was selling what it was until we came on, and then it went through the roof. Rob Liefeld's X-Men books, same. All of this stuff. I mean, Rob even created a new book, that ended up becoming iconic.
All three of them did, didn't they? Because was it Scott? Jim created X-Men, just no Uncanny. Rob created X-Force, and then McFarlane created Spider-Man.
Yeah, but if you think about X-Force, those were brand new characters. Like if you think about it as a new IP, it was way more of a new IP than because Jim was taking established characters. Todd established characters. Like Rob was really thinking.
It was a mix.
Yeah,
it was a mix because Cable was already around.
Yeah, but he created that too.
He created that. Cannonball, Boom Boom, they were both around.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. Like, not all those experiments worked. Because Excalibur was fine, but it wasn't X-Force.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah, it did okay, but it wasn't X-Force. And so the thing is, I think the respect was like you could have a company going, oh, we really respect you, and you go like, okay. But if a company goes, you know what, exactly. If we give you like an extra percentage point on the back end or whatever it is, then it's like putting your money where your mouth is. And then it's sincere. It's not just lip service. And I believe if Marvel could have got off their high horse and given us a little bit more, I don't think Image would have ever happened.
Yeah. Well, I know that wasn't it? They were also taking one of the things I do know was that they were taking artwork that was done and they were putting it on like T-shirts and stuff, and they weren't giving them anything for it.
Yeah.
Which that was
Yeah,
because they still do that shit to this day.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. The cool thing about like the Ultimates, when I started on that, like it was Adam Kubert didn't want to give up the ink, so all that Ultimate X-Men stuff, he got the ink. But the Ultimate Spider-Man stuff, we did like tons of like marketing and licensing artwork, and we got paid marketing and licensing money. Mark Bagley and I did. So that was really neat. So when you saw stuff on backpacks and things like that, that was our artwork, and we did get paid for it.
I remember they used a lot, man. They used a lot of the Ultimate artwork in like stuff.
Yeah, but it was awesome.
It was, man.
Yeah.
And then they did the video game, the Ultimate Spider-Man video game, and all those prototypes. Mark and I did. We did all the drawing and inking for that. So the ink style that was in that first Ultimate, you know how it had that kind of pseudo ink style. That was established in those drawings. So we did turnarounds for every character that was proposed and used in the game, and we did some promo stuff, and I did some sample inks too, so that they could sample them for the game. So there was a lot of cool stuff, that Marvel could do if they really wanted to do, But the thing is, I think the reason the comics industry is kind of messed up now is because of what happened in that early 90s, is because after Image was formed, I know all those executives at Marvel and DC and all those power players, they were like, never again, right? It's not going to happen again. So over the years, they did everything they could to kind of not create the next Jim Lee, to not create the next Todd McFarlane, all that kind of stuff.
Well, Jim Lee himself, it seems like, took steps to make sure that was never going to happen again.
Especially when it was not going to be another him. Yeah.
Only one Jim.
Because there's two things. I remember having a conversation with Norm Rapman. There's two things. He's like, how do you get like to be a superstar, like he was talking about, like current day? And I said, the same as always, a good long run on a successful book, or a long run that you turn it into a success, and a superstar inker or a penciler. So you can have one or the other, or a combination of both, and then all of a sudden you have that. But long runs on books, that's a thing of the past. It's not going to happen anymore. Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder were able to do that because he was Greg Capullo. You know what I mean? Like, to keep Greg happy, you couldn't bounce him around on different titles unless that's what he wanted. But he wanted to stay on that bad book. You know what I mean? So you got a good long run, by Greg and Scott Snyder.
Yeah, I don't know why more artists or teams just don't like to be like, we don't want to move on to something. Let's just keep staying over here to build their cachet up.
Yeah,
you don't see, or maybe they just don't allow it anymore. Maybe someone like Greg is like the last of that breed, or like, he
is. That's why they had to treat him that way. Yeah. Like they'll treat people the way they have to treat them, right? But if you're just a guy that draws pretty good, that has a lot of potential, they're not going to give you that platform to reach that potential, to be a superstar. They're just not. I mean, look at like Ivan Reis, as good as that guy is. Why isn't that dude a superstar? You know what I mean? That dude is so freaking
because he's never on a book for more than 10 issues.
They bounce him around. Yeah, they don't really get behind anything. They just kind of use him. I'm sure he's paid pretty decent, but he's not paid what he should. And they should definitely remember when Bendis came over to DC and they were like, Bendis comes to Superman or whatever, and they made that big deal about it. Like, the reason they did that is because they had to get Bendis. And if they did that with, like, say, Ivan, Reis, or, some of those other guys that are on that same level, all of a sudden you'd have a superstar. and then people would be buying the books, and that would build into something successful. But they just don't want another Jim Lee.
Yeah.
And if you're Jim Lee and you're in charge of the system, why would you want competition?
You don't want another of yourself, and that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like, if you make a superstar, then it's more difficult to control. And
well, you
that's
gotta
basically the gist.
You gotta give him more. So
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, okay, you give him the run, he becomes this huge superstar, this X person. Then it will be the same thing. Marvel will say, like, hey, people are buying Spider-Man, not your name. And that's when all those guys are like, oh, are you really? And that's when Image came about. It's the lack of respect.
The thing is, though, they're doing that for these shitty writers, though.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's another thing that they experimented with, Bob. Mm-hmm. Like, that plays right into what I'm talking about. Because because the Image thing was also to prove they don't need writers. It was an artist-driven thing. Like, there were no superstar writers. There was no even really name writers at the very beginning, right? Yeah. So that started happening later. So then what did DC and Marvel do? We're going to create superstars, but they're not going to be artists. They're going to be writers. So they got behind like Jeff Johns, what is it? Mark Miller and, Bendis, all those guys. And they started, making Morrison, Grant Morrison, all these guys, making them superstars. And it was weird at the time, but writers were probably more docile at the time, like they could control them, and they knew they needed some kind of name on the book. And if you think about it too, the writers got to do longer runs on books, but the pencilers and the inkers didn't.
Yeah, but a writer's style is more difficult to recognize than an artist's style. So there is a different thing. There's an immediacy to really great art that you see it. With writers, you need to read the book. So maybe they have more control over that. Like, if you don't play ball, people are not going to read you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the thing.
And also, I think the companies could control the writers in a way that they couldn't the pencilers, because like an editor can mandate like story, because that's part of their job, right? So they can go, how about writing this story, or give the writer an idea, or work with the writer, or the writer has to pitch the idea. So it has to go through a committee, where a penciler or an inker, they're kind of a loose cannon, right? They don't, I mean, they still have to answer, but not in the same way that a story has to go through, editorial and all that other stuff. So there is a little bit of a difference there.
Yeah, more checks and balances, I guess. But
yeah,
we're all indie now, so.
Well, it's just, I don't know, man. Bendis was good in this time, but grew to be very indulgent. Dude, Bendis is current. Like, the last stuff that I read was so god awful, friggin' woke. It just made me want to
I want to dismantle Bendis for a minute, okay? It was really good. That Ultimate Spider-Man, it was like a breath of fresh air. But if you think about it, he couldn't have done it with any other character. He had to do that with a very, very well-established character, because you can't really do that long-form storytelling if you're introducing a brand new character. One thing he was doing with Ultimate Spider-Man is it almost was like that TV show 48, right? So like 48 hours. So he was almost taking it as real time. Like
24. You mean 24?
Oh, 24. I'm sorry. Yeah, 24. Yeah. With that was the Kiefer Sutherland thing, right?
Yeah. 48 is with Eddie Murphy.
It's the news thing, right?
Yeah. 48 out.
Yeah. So 24, and so it was kind of more like a real time story. So there were some incredibly slow stories. I mean, it took, how many issues did it take for Spider-Man, for Peter Parker to really put on the Spider-Man suit? It was like 3 issues, something like that.
Around,
Like if you were pitching a brand new story to a company, you couldn't get away with that. You'd have to get those characters in the suit. You'd have to show their powers and their abilities really, really quick, because you have to capture the audience fast, right? If it's a new concept. So the one thing that Bendis did, and he was able to do it on those books or on Spider-Man, is because he could do a long form. you could do that. I mean, it was still a gamble, but
Yeah,
it
of
was
course.
kind of a calculated gamble. So he could get into nuances in the Spider-Man mythology and history that you couldn't do any other way. You know what I mean? Unless you're doing nuance, kind of like month to month kind of storytelling. Like this is a month in the life of Peter Parker, you know, kind of thing. So then you could explore stuff. So as a writer, as a creative person, all of a sudden you have a lot more stuff that you can play with, right? Because you don't have to kind of blow through this idea or that idea. You can entertain, you know, oh, he's wrestling now. So you could do almost a whole issue on his, you know, like when he was, you know, trying out and
Yeah, to be a wrestler.
yeah, being a wrestler or whatever, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I mean, we did a whole issue on, I think Aunt May talking to a shrink or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there was some crazy stuff, you know.
But I don't know. I think that slow burn storytelling was better done in Daredevil Yellow. For me, like I like it because I mean it's very slow in the beginning, but it's really good. So I don't know. Like
Daredevil is kind of like Matt Murdock is almost a more compelling character.
yeah.
You know, like before he became Daredevil. You know what I mean? Because there's all that stuff that went on, like with his dad, and I mean, there's a lot of cool backstory with Matt Murdock.
Indeed,
Yeah.
like one of my favorite street level characters, man.
What was that other one that JR did? I think was it Frank Miller wrote it. It was a Daredevil mini series. It had the 4 covers. God, I love that series. I forget what it's called. Maybe somebody in the chat knows. I think it was 4 issues, and I think it was an origin. I think it was the origin story. There was a guy named Stick. I think there was like a guy.
It was just the man with. It was just the man without fear, right?
Yeah.
It was. Just
that's what it was called. Yeah.
It was just called The Man Without Fear. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a great series. I thought JR's work was fantastic. And who was inking that? Was it Jansen or was it like Sienkiewicz? It was somebody different.
Yeah.
It was really
I can tell you here in 1 second.
And I'm drawing a blank.
Artist John Romita Jr.
Yeah, but who inked him?
I think it was just himself.
Oh, really? Well, then he did a dynamic job, like dynamite.
Yeah.
Illustrated by John Romita Jr. That doesn't say inked or pencil. Just says.
Yeah, I knew it was somebody. It was outside the box because it stands out, or it definitely stood out for me. But Daredevil's one of those characters, man, and I think anytime you dig into his past, it always has depth to it. You know what I mean? It's never like superficial. You'd have to go out of your way to.
He was a normal dude growing up in Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, and he has gravitas, like.
Yeah.
Raised on the street, a single dad. Dad had a gambling problem. You know, he was like a washed up boxer. You know, so he was on the take and, you know, working for like organized crime and all that. It was pretty cool, man. And then Hell's Kitchen was a character in the story as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Apex Comics. So, yeah, I've always gravitated more to street level characters than anybody else.
Same.
So,
yeah. That's why I kind of don't like sometimes like DC gets all like overly grand with like Batman.
Yeah.
Like Batman works on a street level. I like Batman, you know. Not necessarily just a stand-up brawler type, but definitely like he could outsmart the street.
Yeah, like more detective stuff, you know. Like, I mean, I'm a sucker for kung fu movies, so one of my favorite street level characters is Iron Fist. It's
yes.
Yeah.
When it's done well, it's awesome, man. It's
that early John Byrne stuff. Holy shit, that rocked my world, man.
Yeah, dude.
So
even though Shang-Chi was a little bit more like cliche, I guess it was more like, hey, let's do everything that sounds Chinese, you know. But
it was let's make Bruce Lee a friggin' comic book character.
Yeah. It felt very shallow, but Iron Fist to me was just Well, and the thing is, like, they had this run in 2006, which was like the Immortal Tournament, when he has to go back to like his city Kong Lung, and there's like 8 other cities, and it's like a freaking tournament of power. It was awesome, man. Just
his powers are kind of manifest like supernaturally, right? Like
it
wasn't like it was an experiment gone wrong or
no.
Like it was like some kind of monks or something. Like supernatural.
He beat up Xiao Lao, the Eternal Dragon, and then you got the Fist of Iron from him. But in this run, you notice that he doesn't know how to use it properly because he can only use one fist. And then he meets his father, and his father can use like both hands, knees, feet, everything. Like,
Yeah, it was always one fist that I remember as a kid.
Yeah.
Because it was Iron Fist, not Iron Fist.
Iron Fist is just one fist.
It's just one fist. Yeah.
And I like the fact that like there's a difference between like that's always been one of my favorite stories when they do is like there's a difference between having power and knowing how to use it.
Yeah.
So and that's where you get like like the growth of the character. So
and like all the diversity stuff and all that. Like I thought the cool thing about what's his name that is Iron Fist.
Danny Rand.
Danny Rand.
Yeah.
Like that was interesting about that guy is that he wasn't familiar with the culture. He was kind of like he was also like our introduction to that world and that culture. Which was fun. Like the thing about Shang-Chi is that he's already part of the culture. There's no gateway into it. You know what I mean? It's like it's already done. But with Danny Rand, you got to kind of go into that world, which was really cool.
What he discovers, you discover. It's
exactly.
It's an awesome
you're on the journey. You're on the journey with it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's like that's why I like characters like that.
Do you like this character, Ironfoot?
Ironfoot.
That sounds like somebody who would like have like a club foot, like he will like limp. But I can make it work.
But
you know what? You can just call him Clubfoot, like
exactly.
Club feet.
Club feet.
And that's the thing. Like nowadays they're like, no, he shouldn't be a Caucasian guy. Because the new Iron Fist in the comics is a Chinese kid or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you're missing the whole point of the whole idea behind the character. Is that he doesn't fit.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea. He's a fish out of water.
Right.
He's like and he was there because, and then you find out later on that like the whole reason why they like the dragon actually chose him was because not because he was the best candidate, but because looked into the future and realized if like this guy needs to be changed, this guy because if we don't he was going to be the what was it? He was like the heir to like an evil empire or something, right?
Yeah, he was the heir of Rand Enterprises.
Rand Enterprises, which was like connected to Roxxon and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
and the dragon was like, he's going to become like one of our greatest enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was the whole idea was like that's why they chose him because one he saw that he could be a great hero, but also because he needed it, And they needed him to be there, so it was
and he wasn't supposed to be the Iron Fist in the first place. Like there was this character called the Steel Crane, that he was supposed to become the Iron Fist, and then like out of spite he went to another city and became Steel Crane. But his power is derived from killing women, which is like he has like
one where he's in there. There's like this tub or like this cauldron. And it's got that symbol on it, right? And doesn't he hug it and it burns into his chest? Is that how he gets that like tattoo thing?
Oh no, he basically melted his heart with Xiao Lao the Undying. That's how he got the tattoo of the dragon.
Yeah.
Okay, so what am I thinking? I thought there was like this cauldron and it had that symbol on it, and then it was like steaming hot. He kind of grabs it. And just...
No, that's David Carradine in Kung Fu. And
there's something like that in Doctor Doom too, right?
Mm-hmm,
they put the mask on him like it was hot or something, right?
Yeah, Oh yeah, the Thunderer. That's another awesome character. Like, dude, Iron Fist is so full of mentality. It feels like a freaking kung fu movie. I just love it.
Great stuff. Like Marvel as the cinematic stuff, they pissed that away with
that was horrible.
Man, I'll tell you that lead character was so miscast. The
Horrible
writing was horrible.
Oh my God,
whole thing was so bad.
And it sucks because they did such a good job on Daredevil.
On Daredevil, yeah.
You know, and even Luke Cage was pretty good casting too.
Yeah.
And then
I thought that guy looked good. Yeah, that guy looked good.
And then they turn around and they get this skinny English dude who doesn't want to work out to be Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
who's supposed to be the most badass fighter of all of them.
Yeah, dude, like if they got like a young Ray Park, the guy who played Darth Maul.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was old already. But get somebody like that to play the Iron Fist, that would have been awesome. But that kid, like, he came straight out of Game of Thrones, where he played like a fruity knight.
Yeah.
And he was awesome there. I guess he's a great actor, but it's just ugh. Dude, that was so disappointing.
You couldn't see that because there was nothing about that show that I even thought was interesting. I think I watched 2 episodes and then just dropped out.
Yeah,
it wasn't very good. So did you guys see the set pictures for Superman with the costumes for Guy Gardner and Hawk Girl?
Yeah. Oh, dude, Guy Gardner looks.
He looks. Here's the thing. I love Nathan Fillion. He looks so bad.
No, you know who he looks like?
Weird,
you remember
weird hair?
Yeah. Do you remember Tropic Thunder? Simple Jack. He looks like Simple Jack.
Yeah, he looks retarded.
He does.
Yeah, exactly. He went full retard. You'd never go full retard. Yeah, it's just Simple Jack.
But even like Hawk was like, I don't understand what it is with them not being able to have like any kind of like form-fitting suit or anything like. Why all their clothes? Everything looks like
baggy.
Yeah. So it's like I don't get it, man. It's like
it's weird. Bob, I still hear YouTubers. I just listened to one today, and he was talking. They're going to tighten up the suit in CG. I'm like, no, they're not.
No, they're not.
They're not going to do. This was definitely done on purpose. This is like you can make form-fitting suits. You can do that. Look at what Henry Cavill or whatever. Like that was a form-fitting suit. You can do that. They just chose not to.
Yeah, and like this. Look at Guy Gardner, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, dude. Ugh.
This is so bad.
And he also looks overweight. He looks overweight. Like it's just horrible. Yeah.
And like she's wearing it. This is a
biker jacket.
This is what's the symbol? Tio Moro? Or it's like, why is she wearing this? Like the helmet's okay.
Yeah.
The mace is okay. The rest of this looks like shit.
You know, I was thinking,
this isn't a mystical character. That's what Hawk Girl is.
It's all bad. The only thing, while you were talking and showing these off, I was thinking maybe the reason they're doing baggy suits is, we live in this progressive world. So it might be them going, you know what? We don't want you to really check out their physique. You know what I mean? Like we're going to play that stuff down. So instead of giving you a form-fitting, outfit, they're going to give you some baggy kind of, clothes.
Can you go one picture back? The belly flop.
Oh, it's the big belly burger. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the sign down there. Yeah. It's the big belly burger stuff. We did that in Superman. Yeah. It's a fast food restaurant.
And there's a better look at Guy. And here's the thing: why is Guy wearing this? Why isn't he wearing a Green Lantern uniform?
Yeah, where's the symbol? Yeah,
I think that's supposed to be the symbol on his belt.
And he's got a green stripe. You know what it looks like? You know what it looks like? Because Hawk Girls, Guy Gardner, and Mr. Terrific, all of their suits look similar, like they're a team,
like a uniform. Yeah.
Yeah,
they're all baggy, and they look like.
Well, they all have jackets. Yeah, and they're all kind of the same boots, and some of the markings look similar with just the stripes.
And the symbol on the chest, I think it's similar too. They have that like different fabric symbol thing on the shirt underneath the jacket. I think it's the same thing.
And Nathan Fillion, that guy should have worked out or something, man.
He's actually gotten into a lot better shape. It's just this picture makes him look like shit.
No, there's a gut there. There's a gut. You can't.
Well, he's
dad bod.
No, dude. Like, if you've ever seen, he's on that show, The Rookie. Dude, he lost a bunch of he was when towards the end of remember that show Castle. Towards the end of that, man, he was putting on some weight.
The pounds.
Yeah, but now in
he's not in shape. Look at the way the jacket's even though she's in front of it, you can see the way
he has a jowl, man.
It's pulled out.
Oh, yeah, he does.
He's got a gut.
Well, he's 50-something years old now too, so that's he's way too old to be playing Guy Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's at least in his mid-50s now.
Apex Comics says this looks like a shit show. Nathan Fillion needs to train in a boot camp environment. Well, the thing about these superheroes is one of the common threads is that they have these crazy bodies. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're in shape. And I really do think what they're trying to do is go for some kind of progressive points here. Because why would you explain, how else could you explain these baggy these clothes?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
I'm looking at I'm looking at a picture of him in the, like I said, the last season of The Rookie. He doesn't have the gut and everything like he does in this picture.
Well, he was younger too, like you said.
No, the last season of The Rookie was this year, was at the beginning of this year.
Yeah, but you can put on some serious weight in a year.
I'm wondering if they're making him look like that on purpose, though.
I mean, if you have
he's supposed to be old and washed up or something.
Yeah, dude. If you have a Krispy Kreme close by, you can put on the pounds in a couple of weeks. That's the thing. A year.
Yeah.
But
there's the thing. Nothing about any of these screams that says super.
You see, it's kind of like the same symbol. You see on your chest and on his chest, it's kind of like the same symbol. So yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a Team Terrific or something in the comics? Wasn't there some kind of
Team Tomorrow? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Or
so maybe that's what they're doing. Somehow Superman.
You're going for that.
Yeah, because I'm hoping that those characters are just in an opening scene or something. I can't see those characters carrying the movie, or being in the movie any longer than just a scene.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
And die immediately,
I don't think they're going to kill them off, but
no, not really. It's just I want it to be as little as possible. Just die immediately. Hey, look, Green Lantern.
The weird thing about Hawk Girl, you could do as a throwaway. Mr. Terrific, you can do as a throwaway. But when you start getting into the Green Lantern Corps, those are some powerful characters.
Yeah,
I don't think. You can't just dismiss the Green Lantern Corps like that.
No.
So I think that could be a mistake. As far as story and content moving forward on those things.
I got no confidence in this
movie. Hey, what is this? What is this? Team Titty Sucker?
That's a movie I'll watch.
What is that? Apex says Nathan Fillion is
53. Yeah, I checked it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's too old. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Wait until they introduce the Authority.
I don't know. Speaking for elderly superheroes, the casting for Dr. Fate was excellent, though.
Oh yeah,
I have to say. And
here's the thing.
On Black Adam.
Look at the Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate was awesome.
And even the guy that was playing Hawkman, his costume looked like Hawkman. This does not look like Hawkgirl. This looks like corporate secretary number 3 wearing a helmet.
Yeah, no, she looks like Biker Van Dyke. This is like a bull that rides motorcycles.
You know what? Pierce Brosnan alone and that Ant-Man
movie,
the Atom or whatever that was in that Black Adam movie. But Pierce Brosnan alone made me want to see that movie. I still didn't see the movie, but I heard that guy was really good. I thought the design was pretty good. It looked decent, It kind of looks nice.
It's not a bad movie, but it's not a good movie either.
I understand.
And Doctor Fate is the only thing I really enjoy.
That's
All
what
the
I
other
heard.
was meh.
Yeah,
All the other thing was meh.
The Rock looks good as Black Adam, acting
But it
wise.
was The Rock.
He
It was
doesn't.
The Rock.
Yeah, he was just playing himself. I'm like,
Look,
you're not playing Ted
that
Adam.
Yeah, there's stuff that DC's doing and Marvel's doing it now too. It's like, why are you using these characters?
Yeah.
You know, like Black Adam's a villain, and he only really works with Captain Marvel or Shazam. You know, and you're not doing either of those things. So why are you telling a Black Adam story? It's really dumb. Like, there is a certain way that you have to establish a universe, and so that's another problem I have with the Superman movie. It's like, well, you have Mr. Terrific, you have Hawkgirl, you have Guy Gardner. Well, who cares? Like, I don't want to see any of those characters on a big screen. You know what I mean? Like, that's as a fan of comics, I don't care. Like, that's something you do way down the line. Like, even when Marvel went, we're gonna dig down into our bench of superheroes, and we're gonna do Iron Man, right? That's like a C or a D-list character. But they knew that going in, and they made it work. But as far as I was concerned as a comic book fan, I never thought of Iron Man as a D or a C-list character. I always thought he was a badass. He was.
That's the thing. But popularity-wise, Iron Man was a gamble because nobody knew who he was.
Right.
But they had Jon Favreau at the helm, and he made it cool. This is like, who do we need? Like Robert Downey Jr. Who was Robert Downey Jr. before Iron Man? And I'm not bashing him because I don't know the guy, but what I remember him before Iron Man is that he went into his neighbor's house because he was so high on drugs, and he got confused. Like, he was a mess. I'm sorry, but he nailed it. He nailed that Iron Man.
Credits that role for basically saving him too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That him and what's his name? Mad Max. My brain took a crap.
Mad Max or Mel Gibson?
Mel Gibson. Yeah, he said Mel Gibson saved his life. So
nice.
But,
the thing is, like all good art has like a really great redemption story or some kind of drama attached. Like, the reason I always think like Fleetwood Mac is so iconic is because there's some serious like melodrama going on in the band. You know what I mean? It wasn't just the music. It was like all this stuff was going on in the background while they were making this music. So like somebody like Robert Downey Jr. is almost like he's on a redemption arc, and he's playing a character that is on a redemption arc. You know what I mean? So like there's this symmetry with it. And so then you find yourself cheering for Tony Stark, but at the same time, you're kind of cheering for Robert Downey Jr. You know what I mean? There's like a real life component to this play pretend stuff or this art that's being done. Like Van Gogh is like, ooh, Van Gogh, but you know him from like the melodrama. You know him because he's like ear off, and all that kind of crazy stuff. So there's always like these great stories that go with things, and it just kind of adds to the mythology of everything and makes it more interesting. At least I think to some level. Some of the drama I don't really care for.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, The Rock was the worst cast for Black Adam.
Yes, he was.
I mean, to introduce Black Adam, he has to be introduced as a villain, not as a hero, and that was the first mistake because Black Adam, in the sense, is very selfish, but he loves his country and he loves his kingdom, and that's his only like redeeming characteristic. But he'll do whatever to preserve. So the things like they introduce him as a villain, like he's very powerful, but The Rock will never play a villain. That's the thing. Like it's like it was. Do you smell what Black Adam is cooking? That's how it felt, and it was stupid. It's like,
well, he's not really good enough actor, I feel, unless really rich to his strengths. It's like Arnold. Like, when you watch a bad Arnold movie, you realize the limitations of his acting. There were some movies that were pushing it a little too far, or pushing his abilities a little too far. And I think like The Rock is one of those, of those actors. Like he can do certain things really well, but certain things he cannot do. And
we're gonna find out how good of an actor he is because he's doing that biopic about Mark Kerr, the Smashing Machine, and he's under like heavy makeup and stuff to make him look like Mark Kerr. So he doesn't even look like him. So, but we're like way past 2 hours, man.
All right. Hey, thank you, Pedro, for hanging out. Bob as
yeah,
well.
Sorry, I got confused.
Oh, no. It's all good.
I got confused with the time.
Oh yeah, because I think I might have given my time here, like Central.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a blast, you guys. Pontificators is great. And before we leave, though, I am going to show off my oodles of doodles and other stuff too.
Oh yeah, dude. Awesome.
That's the reason for the season, you guys. This is my new campaign. This is my new art book. It's a lavish hardbound art book showcasing the various creative sides of me. Yeah, you guys. So I think we're 2 days into this already. We're 7,168. We got 52 backers. There's always room for more. I want to thank each and every one of you for backing, for sharing this out. And if you haven't backed, please come by, click one of those links, come by, find a tier, back it. Would be greatly appreciated. This is what the book looks like. This is a second printing of this book, but this will be different from the first printing. There's going to be a lot of new artwork and a lot of new pages for it. So it's going to be 60 pages, 9x12. It's a killer coffee table book. It looks gorgeous. And then wait, where is that? It says
So Art, this book on the wild, like outside of this campaign, how much would it go for if people find it?
On eBay, it's going, I've seen it as low as $69, and I've seen it as high as $120.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we completely sold out of the first run. So there is some collectability to this. And the whole reason I'm doing this is because I had quite a bit of you ask where they could get a copy. And sadly, I had to say it was sold out. So
that's not a sad event.
Yeah,
it's not sad for you.
Well, it is kind of
sold out
because I can't sell anymore.
Yeah, there you go. And thus the campaign.
Yeah. So I got this great quote by Kevin Nolan. It says, "I've been jealous of Art's inking for many years. He really makes beautiful lines. If you isolate them and disregard the context, they are still graceful and elegant. But he's not just an inker. He draws beautifully as well. I think that might explain half of the secret to his success. If he puts a shadow under a nose or adds texture, he's sensitive to the underlying structure, so he doesn't make the mistakes you're likely to see from an inker who is just tracing pencils. The other half, I have no idea. I've tried to make lines as elegant as his, and I fail every time." The great Kevin Nolan. Thank you so much, Kevin. There are some really great people in this industry. I know sometimes the bad ones get all the press and stuff like that, but Kevin Nolan is one of the great, not just great talents, but he's a great human being as well. So here's a Batman image that he and I jammed on. Those are my pencils, his inks. And I'll never sell that thing. I'll never give it up. Yeah. So that was cool of him. Here are some of the new pages. So this is 2 new pages for this book. There's a lot of pop culture artwork in it, like Captain Kirk and Gigantor. But there's also some CG stuff like Comicsgate. So we got Gemshock, we got Cyberfrog, we got Lilith from Graveyard Shift.
Graveyard Shift.
Yeah. And so then I got some of my early 90s work when I was on the X-Men books. So this is Cable with some reimagining inks and colors. And then I have some create your own IPs that I did for animation pitches and things like this. So this was a pitch I put together for Cartoon Network and for Spike TV. And I have
seen it.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man.
It got pretty far up the ranks, man, but nobody had the cojones to do it. Because it's pretty racy. It's pretty racy. And then I got the great Billy Tucci to sign off on this She. So I got to put She in the book. So we have some work in progress images, and then we had the final product on the right-hand side. So this is a new double page as well. So then we have some prints, a lot of cool prints. Del Keown gave me the permission to do this. So thank you, Del.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
And we have some stuff where we're gonna start promoting and getting some early stuff out for the new black and white series, which is going to be called The Sins of the Father. It's going to be volume 3, and it's going to come out this October. This October will be the month that the original series came out in 1994. So 30 years ago. So Juju is one of the big bads that's going to be in this story arc. And this is a complete reimagining of that character as well, with some beautiful color work on it. So yeah, we have set A, which has the 8.5 by 11 prints. It comes with a signed and numbered book. And then we have set B, which comes with 3 8.5 by 11s as well, with that signed and numbered book. So some cool stuff. We got a head sketched here. So this is a commemorative 30th as well. These are the new power suits for the new series. So it's kind of debuting them here in this campaign. I think it's cool. And so you can get those drawn on your flyleaf of your book. The commission sold out. So let's just go right through that. And then I still have some of these head commissions, these headshot commissions. They're not quite Jim Lee priced, but they are. They're a little expensive, but they're going to be well worth it because there's a lot. This isn't my usual headshots, you guys. These are almost illustration qualities or quality of headshots I'm going to do. So yeah, there's still a couple early birds, you guys. So you can go in there, click those early birds. You can get a free pit print in the early birds. And whoa, what happened there? Yeah, so I know everybody's starting to celebrate for the 4th and all that stuff's coming up. But if you could, click the link, go in there, check it out if you like what you see, back a book, and let's keep this thing going. We're 2 days into this. We're doing pretty good, but there's always room for more people. And as always, thank you. All of us would not be able to do, everybody in CG would not be able to do what we do if it wasn't for the support of you guys. So we do always appreciate everything you do. Thanks for hanging out with us for the last couple hours. But before we go, Pedro, you got something to share?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
we're still live, Pedro. Did I put you to sleep with my big pitch?
What's that? You know what? No. The thing is, I was paying attention, so I wasn't.
You're one of those guys. Like sometimes, like girls do this. Like they're like, "Oh no, I was listening." like it's just so insincere. It's like you weren't listening. Oh yeah. It was very interesting. Yeah, what you were saying. Oh, did Pedro freeze?
Yeah, remember have internet issues down here.
This has turned into a cluster F. Whenever Pedro gets the limelight, he always freezes. Hey, Bob, are you still there?
Yeah.
Or are you just
I'm here.
moving?
I'm letting you guys do your thing, man.
Yeah, Bob's enjoying watching Pedro crash.
Yeah. Okay, the video's up.
Oh, is it?
Oh no!
It doesn't look like it's totally booted up from my point of view. Is it a white screen?
No, oh Jesus, what's happening? All right, guys, internet difficulties.
Well, just do a verbal pitch. We can kind of hear you. Sometimes you robot, but what are you working on, man?
Oh, right now I'm working on I just finished Critical Snail, a little teaser for Pixel Creators' upcoming project, and I'm on the final stretches of a huge. I've been working on this over a year. It's like a religious animated show. I already did 8 1-minute episodes, and I'm doing the intro now. So once I'm finished with that, I'm gonna be open to do everything else. So that's what I'm doing. But Waifus and Kaijus is in page 50 right now. I want to reach all the way to page 70 to launch the campaign. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, the animation tool is also on the works, but I have to finish this because the client already paid me. So
Yeah.
I really need to deliver this, guys. So that's why I've been like missing in action. I'm just working my little Latino ass off. And I have a new software in my arsenal called Mojo.
Okay.
And I can't wait to show you guys what can be done with Mojo. Because basically what I can do right now is grab your characters directly from your comic book art and rig them in a way that I can do lip sync, movement, everything, but with your art.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm very excited. I bought the software 2 weeks ago, and I've been studying really hard at that. So yeah, like 2024 is gonna turn crazy on this end. So good times.
Sweet. Yeah, so look forward to that. I can't wait to see some more of that. So thanks again to everybody in the chat for hanging out with us. Thanks, Bob, for showing up. Thanks, Pedro. Yep. And thank you, Clint, for coming in early on. You guys all take care. And this has been the oh my God. I started off with the P, like the pro.
Yeah, it happens.
This has been the Pontificators, you guys. It's been a long day. So you guys take care, and we'll see you next week on the Pontificators.
There you go.
There you go.
Huh?